Hello, my name is Brant Schalk. I'm with UAF eLearning. This is a very brief tutorial on how to use TrueCrypt. TrueCrypt is a open source software that encrypts either a file or a volume on a partition. It works with both Mac and Windows. And right now, currently, I'm using OS Mavericks. So let's go ahead and start TrueCrypt up. I've already got it installed, and just by clicking on it and opening TrueCrypt, you can see that there is a window here with different slots and an area where I can create a volume, or I can mount all devices, dismount, select file, select device, and volume tools. All I'm going to be showing you today is how to create a volume, then mount that volume, and then perhaps save a file within it, and the real basic steps to how I use TrueCrypt and how I use it to save important files too. I use TrueCrypt so that if I want things to be protected a little bit more so let's get started by creating a volume. So we're just going to start here with create volume. There's two options here. There's a create encrypted file container. There's also create a volume within a partition or a drive. All we're going to do is create an encrypted file container. And as you can tell, it explains what that is. So just click next. This is the standard TrueCrypt volume. We're going to use that. We're not going to necessarily need a hidden TrueCrypt volume. I like to think that if you were going to, if you were heading to like a conflict area or something like that where you may possibly be held hostage and someone was forcing you to give them your password, the hidden TrueCrypt volume would work very well in that situation, and that it does create a hidden volume as well as a standard volume. And there's more details into that if you were to look into that more. But for now, we're going to use standard TrueCrypt volume. This is where you get to select the location in which your encrypted volume is going to be, and as well as name it. So I'm going to actually just go ahead and select file. It's going to ask you, what do you want to name the file? Let's call it Brant's encrypted space. I'm going to save it to the desktop. Now it gives us the location at which where we're going to save that. Go ahead and click next. Keep these the defaults. The advanced encryption standard is a good algorithm, the AES. So go ahead and leave it as that. Go ahead and click next. Now we're going to choose our volume size. I'm going to move it up to a gigabyte and put in 1 gig. That's the file size to which the encrypted volume will be. The volume password is, in other words, the master password. This is the password that you're going to have to remember to access any information within this encrypted volume, whether it's files or software. So this is very important. You do not want to lose this password. This is the one that you're going to want to keep memorized. So I'm going to go ahead and create that. We're not going to necessarily use any key files. Key files comes into play if you wanted to have multiple users access a specific encrypted volume. Go ahead and leave the format options default as fat. As you can tell, it's selecting a random pool to create the encryption. Go ahead and click Format. The volume has been created. You can click OK. Now it says you can create a new one or you can exit. So we're going to go ahead and exit. I'm going to go ahead and close this. I'm going to bring over the encrypted file volume that we created, and that's all it is right there. So as you can see, if you try and open it, it's just going to give you a lot of random numbers. It's not readable, it cannot be opened, it's encrypted. It's a 1 gigabyte file that is encrypted. As you can tell, there's a little bit of information about that. So let's go back into TrueCrypt. Let's open it up. And there's the window we recognize. Now we want to mount that volume with using TrueCrypt. So let's go ahead and just select the default slot 1. And let's go down to select file. And as you can tell, we're already on the desktop. So let's go to the volume we created, branch encrypted space. Select that. Click open. It's got the file selected here. Now let's go down and click mount. Here's where we need to enter the master password in. As you can see, it looked like it mounted successfully, otherwise it would have popped up an error saying password not accepted. And as you can see over here, the volume mounted. You can close this. It's not going to dismount it. But this no-name file is your 1 gigabyte encrypted volume file you created. And that's basically it. So that's your encrypted space. Let's take this screenshot, for instance, and say it's got your passwords in it, if it's an Excel spreadsheet or something like that, and pretend like that's something we want to protect. And that's basically all you have to do is drag and drop that file in there and go ahead and close that out. Notice how when you close that, it doesn't dismount the volume. So if somebody was to come up to your computer right now, they would have that access. There are time settings you can put in place to which it will unmount after a specific set of minutes, like 15 minutes or 10 minutes. You can have it unmounted. But for this purpose, I'm just going to click dismount here. And let it unmount itself. And that's it. That should be enough to get you started. Thanks for watching.